1 week away, 1 week and some change away from the draft. We have our top 5 choices for the Vikings. Let's get into them. How's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful mid-April Monday. Make sure to have all your taxes done by tomorrow. Tomorrow is tax day. Very important. You don't want the IRS knocking at your door. Make sure to get those done. And also, we are a little over 1 week away from draft day. Obviously, it doesn't have the same hype as it did last year, knowing we were going to go for a quarterback, but still a lot of players in this draft that the Vikings could and should and are interested in. Only 4 picks will be, again, I mean, as we talked about, many different scenarios they could do here. But for today, we have 5 guys that we really think that we need to consider in the first round. And I do think that, I mean, if you want to base things off mock drafts or whatever, I do think that there are going to be a lot of options that the Vikings will like. But I do think there's going to be options for trade back as well. So, yeah, I'm ready for it. We're a little over a week away. The older you get, the quicker it comes. I mean, I feel like back in the day, it was always just like waiting for draft day, and now it's here before you know.
We're keeping too busy, too busy. That's what it is.
For sure, absolutely,
just too busy. What's going on, everybody? Like Casey said, draft is around the corner. Let's fucking go. I'm pumped. I've been diving more and more into some of these players and stuff, so I'm getting excited. We're going to do a mock draft later after we do our top 5 in the first round where we sit right now. And I know so for Bleacher Report, it's kind of a cool thing that I'm doing on there. And so Bleacher Report, there's a bunch of content creators for every team. And we're doing like one giant mock draft with each content creator making their actual picks. And then you can do trades and all that kinds of stuff, which I did make a trade. So I'll get into that later, but we're going to do a mock draft kind of based around what I set up for that mock draft, because I want to kind of get an idea of what that might even look like for us, which I got a pretty good deal. So it'll be interesting to see what you all think about that. But before moving forward here, let's do some shout outs. We had our guy Bleeding Purple in here right away. Sup, everyone? What's going on, my guy? We got Bob Sweet in here. Yeah, he sees mock drafts. He's in here. You know that for sure. No, Bob's in here every single time. We appreciate you, Bob. Welcome in. Welcome in. My guy, Nick Riley in the building. What's up, chat? Two-Tone. What's up, GG? What's going on, Two-Tone? Hey, what's going on, Jen? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope the little one is doing well. Yeah, he's doing great. No complaints. No complaints. Fussiness, I feel like, is going down a little bit. And I don't know, all that stuff. It's going good. He's healthy. I think at the end of the day, that's all you care about. Who else we got popping in here? Anybody else? We got our guy Skol for Life Barber in the building. What's going on, dude? Let's go. Yeah. So yeah, I guess before moving forward here, I guess where are you sitting at? I guess we can I know there's one thing I wanted to bring up. We didn't put it on here, but I know there's a big article that I still need to read about JJ McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers. One of the little pieces out of it mentioned that Aaron Rodgers came in and had a proposal for the Vikings, which is still a crazy thing. How out of all that noise, what was real was Aaron Rodgers really wanting to become a Viking, which is hilarious. Like if you would have thought that, like if you could have told the Green Bay Packer fans back in the day, like your quarterback's going to want to come here so bad or whatever. Like I wish you would have already known that so we could stuck it to him. Now it sucks because even Packer fans don't really like Aaron Rodgers anymore. Right, yeah. So it doesn't really work.
Take him.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, take him. But yeah, so what he said was he's like, hey, I want to come there and we can try for a Lombardi trophy. And then I will also, be a mentor to JJ McCarthy, which I was cool with. Like the idea of Rodgers being a mentor, regardless of how you feel about him off the field. Obviously, he has a lot to teach someone if he's willing to do that, which I think would be great for JJ McCarthy. Though, obviously, I didn't want to spend the money on Aaron Rodgers, but if we did it, it wouldn't have been the end of the world, I wouldn't think. But even so, I still would have wanted some sort of quarterback competition. Like I didn't want Aaron Rodgers to come in and think he should be automatically the best. I think there's a chance JJ McCarthy could be better than Aaron Rodgers already, obviously without the experience, but from an age standpoint.
Yeah.
Could have been.
And I just feel like, I mean, yes, he could have came in here and mentor because obviously the two names I'm about to mention, Aaron Rodgers is steps above them from a player perspective. But I mean, he has Kevin O'Connell and he has Josh McCown, two guys who are going to be in his ear, teaching him the way. I mean, he's already learned from those guys this past year. Sure, not a lot of it has been, on the field, obviously, other than preseason and whatnot. But I mean, it's just, I think that, like you said, without the money, without the distraction of Aaron Rodgers being here, all of that, I think O'Connell and Josh McCown are going to be the two perfect guys to coach him up, especially with McCown, a guy who obviously not an all-pro, Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame type player, but a solid starter in his own right, played a long time in the league, started for a lot of teams. So I just think that's enough. I mean, I get it. With Aaron Rodgers, you are getting that Super Bowl, caliber type quarterback, whatever, but there's just too much distraction, too much money that's going to go along with it, and it's just taking another year away from that. As you mentioned multiple times throughout any conversation about quarterbacks, taking away valuable time off that cheap rookie or young quarterback contract, which is exactly what this team is going to be built off of going forward. So, but yes, it's really interesting to see that after all of this, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, and again, Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, did they consider it? Absolutely, because as they both kind of mentioned, when you have a scenario like that pop up, and a player of that caliber that's interested in coming to your team, you have to at least consider it. But it is interesting to know that Aaron Rodgers was the one that was kind of like, hey, I want to come here. Will you guys have me? And they said, no, we're good.
Yeah. And we like JJ McCarthy. That's what anybody's questioning about JJ McCarthy. Stuff like that should make you feel pretty confident, especially when, these words and the decision ultimately is Kevin O'Connell, which at this point, around the league, not just Viking fans anymore, is kind of looked at as like a quarterback guru at this point. So to know like that guy is like, we're gonna pass on Aaron Rodgers, and we think JJ McCarthy is the guy.
And obviously, full trust in good old Brett Rippon being your your backup quarterback. Let's ride.
We had a bet on that, right?
We did.
It was whether him or Nick Mullins was.
Yeah,
it was either of them
came in, the bet was off. It was just between Mullins and.
So I have zero chance at it, but you still have a chance at it.
Absolutely. Because someone made a good point. Because obviously they're saying that we're waiting till after the comp pick window closes, but Ryan Tannehill wouldn't count towards that. So if Tannehill was an option, you think they'd have already signed him by now. So. I don't know. And who knows? Maybe they're trying to see what happens in the draft. I mean, because I personally think that they could end up just taking a guy late and having him be like, again, it's not going to be a backup, but he would be kind of a developmental practice squad, third string quarterback you could bring in. I don't know. I mean, again, and everybody, I understand backup quarterback's important, as we've seen, but I think the amount of concern that it got when, oh God, another backup quarterback off the board.
Yeah.
Like, if McCarthy goes down, no matter who we brought in, if McCarthy goes down, we're effed anyway. So it's like, I'm not really too people are stressed out so much about this backup quarterback thing. I just don't give a shit. No. Personally.
Dude, they were dropping names. I'm like, I don't even know if I've heard of that guy. Like Will Johnson. I'm like, I don't.
Will Johnson. Like Josh Johnson got signed somewhere again.
Or that's what it was. That's what it was. Josh Johnson.
Yeah,
I know. And someone's like, there goes
being our starter. Like
there goes another guy. I'm like, stop it. You're not even. Most of these names were like. I don't even know if they're backup quarterback. Yeah, the Joe Flacco. I would say the Joe Flacco thing. That one was kind of like, ooh, that one kind of like I could. But I mean, that one.
What was that? Like what was that? $4 million? Was it $4 million with like
$4 million up to 13?
Up to 13.
Yeah.
So again, like there's no way we're even messing with that type of money for a backup. That I don't know.
Right before the pick, 24. That's funny.
But I do think all of this, like you said, just shows the amount of trust that they actually have that A, McCarthy's healthy enough, but B, that they think that with the team around him, he's actually going to end up being a solid starting quarterback. So I don't know. I'm not too concerned. If it ends up being Brett Rippon, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, here's Kwesi again, mismanaging his team. I don't care.
It's not going to be. He's going to grab. There's Wentz out. There's guys out there. We're not going. I'm promising you, who knows, maybe he ends up just taking it or whatever, but we're gonna have someone else out there. If we got more picks, or I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we got a late round quarterback, or if we'll probably definitely get an undrafted free agent one. Obviously you're still not feeling confident about that, of having a rookie as your backup to JJ McCarthy. You'd probably have someone that at least is like, can play to not lose. That's what at the very least, you want your backup quarterback to play to not lose. And that would be the best case scenario. So we'll see what happens. Everybody else in here again, another show, another card giveaway. We got some good stuff. Dallas Turner, I don't know, man. Starting to feel good about this breakout season. I know it's only April, but we're feeling good. So get them hashtags, goals in the comments, like the videos, and subscribe if you haven't already for your chance to win this card at the end of the show.
I forgot about that. We got I forgot Nick's a Laker fan.
Oh, Vikings fans. Oh, yeah. I know. Where's...
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't happening. Even though, I don't know. I'm not scared of LeBron at all. I'm not scared of him. I'm scared of Luka.
Who is it? Is it Jaden? Does Jaden get the Luka responsibility?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Jaden is gonna get LeBron. That's my guess.
Then who gets Luka? You think
that's gonna have to? Ant's gonna have to step up.
You think?
He's gonna have to. I mean, Luka is. I haven't been paying. I'm assuming Luka's been. I haven't been paying enough attention to the Lakers. Is Luka playing? Nick, answer this. I guess is Luka playing point mostly, or is because LeBron's kind of that point forward guy as well. So I think whoever's playing point is who Ant's gonna probably have to try to guard. Obviously, you know, if Rudy's playing the way he has been, which we don't really see him do that in playoffs, they don't really have an answer for a guy like Rudy on that squad.
Yeah, they're definitely smaller.
Yeah. So that will be interesting. Luka's main point. Okay. That's my guess. I think you're going to see Ant versus Luka, and then you're going to see
maybe when you rotate Nikhil in there, give him that. I know they said Clark is probably going to have a pretty big role there too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a team effort for sure. But I mean, as we know with the Wolves, Austin Reeves, because it's always those white guys, always those white guys on those teams that give the white guys that can shoot, that give the Wolves fits. So I think Reeves
he's been doing good lately though. I feel like Rudy's finally found his role in this team. We'll see though.
He's just playing aggressive. That's another thing too with Rudy that's going, especially the second half of the season and this last stretch he's been on.
Yeah. It's one of the best stretches he's had in his career offensively.
Yeah.
So
sure.
It should be interesting. I'm not confident though. LeBron and Luka is still the dumbest trade in history. Like Herschel Walker, like, yeah, here's your here or what is it? Here's a beer. What is it? I don't even remember the thing.
Beer.
Hey, hold my beer. Thank you. Hold my beer, Herschel Walker. The Luka thing is still, and it's so sketchy. I'm not a huge conspiracy guy, but there's some bullshit around that. You can't tell me otherwise. Anyways, this isn't a basketball podcast. We can get into some more of that at the end of this because it is exciting. Lakers versus the Wolves. But going into our top 5 first round choices for the Minnesota Vikings at pick. This isn't just at pick 24. This is just first round. Maybe you trade back to the end of the first round. We'll kind of go into when we'd like to go pick one of these guys up. So let's jump into it right away with, let me move some stuff here. What is our one for this? Is it this one? There we go. At number 5, we got North Dakota guard, center, tackle, whatever, can play everywhere. Gray Zabel, I would say right away. I'm not going in this draft feeling like we need to go after a guard. Though if we did, I like the idea of Gray Zabel. If we were to trade back, I would not like him at 24. But if we traded back and we're sitting at, let's say, 31, 32, or maybe we would have made it to the next round at 33 or something like that, and he's available at that point, I'm like, hey, you got some more picks. Pick whoever you think. You get Gray Zabel. You feel confident that he'll at least make that. I mean, you feel confident that he should go in and immediately take that starting left guard spot. And now you're feeling like there's not a single hole on this offense.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why, I mean, I'm okay with Gray Zabel if all else fails and there's just not another player I like more than him, pull the trigger.
And then worst case scenario here too is if Darrisaw for some reason isn't ready to go and Brandel impresses you enough, you can always start Zabel at left tackle. Let him get his career started there. Then when Darrisaw comes back in, then you can have him bump inside to guard. Or if you like Tyler, or is it Tyler Skol? The guy we got from Tampa. If you like him enough at left tackle, you start him there. Then you either have Gray Zabel compete with a Brandel and Walter Rouse, or you just put him in that spot right away there. I would like this a lot. I personally I personally just don't see it happening
FP.
because I do
You're
buy
good,
into
brother.
the fact that they like Rouse enough to put in that spot too.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I don't see it happening. But if it did, like you said, I mean, basically, then you're sitting there. It's like at least for this year and maybe even next year, depending on the health of Ryan Kelly, your offensive line is set.
Yeah. It's not the worst scenario. I'd rather pick him and fill that guard spot than sitting there and we reach for a cornerback that no one likes. Like there's
Yeah.
very few corners in this draft that I would want instead of Gray Zabel, I would say. So I think he would be a best player. There's a real chance if he's the best player available at one of the positions that we want depth at, then you pull the trigger there. That's where I'm at right there.
Yeah.
And the biggest home run guy. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it would be. It
Yeah.
would be. But keep moving forward. I will say, spoiler alert, we don't have Will Johnson on here, and that is mostly because
Unrealistic.
regardless of anybody thinking there's a chance of him drop, we all know he's not going to drop to us. So we didn't even put him on here.
Yeah, stud corners normally won't make it past, into the mid to late 20s.
Yep. At number 4, we got Nick Amanawari, and I don't know if I said that for sure correctly, but I think that's right? Pretty close at the very least.
Yep.
So we got him. We got an athletic safety in here who has some solid instincts. And I know there's some people who had him in the top half of the first round. There's some people who have him in the middle of the second round. This is a guy I do like. I would say I know that Malachi Starks is kind of all over the place as far as like some people have him going top 15 and some people have him falling to the back end of the first round. If you ask me straight up if I would rather have I could have put Malachi here as well. If I could have Malachi Starks or Nick Amanawari, I would definitely go with Malachi Starks. I think he has way more he just has way more instincts, and I think when it comes to safety, I think of any players to watch, I think like based on tape and things like that, I think it's safety because you need to like sniff out instincts at that position, and athleticism and all those things aren't as big of a deal to me. But not just to mention, we have this safety in general is a position that, I'm a little, and I've talked about it on here before, and we've talked about it on here before, gun shy because of the whole, because of the Lewis scene thing
and yet,
with the first trade.
And yet you would go the Georgia safety over the other guy because so you're going to be gun shy on Lewis.
I think I watched him and he just looks better.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I like Amanawari, but so? I mean, 6'3", 220. You love the size, 4'3", 840, blazing fast speed. I don't know, man. I just everything about the measurables I absolutely love with Amanawari.
But everything about the tape,
lean
Malachi.
I mean, but
I would go Malachi in a heartbeat. He looks like there's especially the safety. Like what did Harrison Smith run? Did he run his 40?
I have no idea.
I think he ran like a 4 or 5 something. What did what's a guy we passed up? Baltimore.
Oh, Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton. I don't think he ran. He's not a runner. I don't think the safety matters. Athleticism matters to some extent, but instincts matters. And Malachi has instincts over Amanawari. And I don't really want to pick him in the first round, to be honest.
I'm still taking Amanawari here if it's me, but that's just me.
So you're going Amanawari over Stark straight up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see,
I am.
I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it. I don't even want to hear it. No, that's all right. So I would have picked Malachi over him. So regardless of who ends there, I'm going Malachi. He's going Amanawari. My guess is I think Malachi isn't going to make it to 24. I think Amanawari is definitely going to make it to 24. So yeah, I think we'll see what's up. Hey, Two-Tone, Skol Fest. Hey, we're getting that shit rolling. Just ask Mafia. I don't know if Mafia is still in here. What's going on, Dan? Welcome in, by the way. But we got that rolling. We got them. We got Gary. Gary's been on board. Mafia's been helping out. We're getting it going, dude. But yeah, so at the end of the day, though, safety, probably technically the biggest position of need based off of like the unknowns and the question marks of the position, I feel probably confident of what we have there. But we talked about before, I'm kind of gun shy on the idea of that position. So what's just your take on safeties overall?
Put a Band-Aid on it for 2 more years. Draft Koi Peric. We're good to go. I am dying on that hill. Absolutely dying on that hill. But no, I mean, I understand because again, Harrison Smith's going to retire. You don't really know what you have in Theo Jackson yet. You hope that he's good. He had some splashes. Obviously, the interception against Seattle, that was the game. Was that the game sealer? Did he have he had the game sealer against Seattle. Obviously, they like him a lot to keep him on the roster over Lewis Cine. So if they decide to go that direction, I would definitely understand it. I just think you could find better options, especially if we're talking first round and early, whatever. Especially when you see a guy like Makuba from Texas that makes it. If you could trade back in an extra second round pick or something, or even the third round pick, he's sitting there every time you look at those drafts. So if you could find a guy like that and cover another need or just greater position earlier on with the first or trade back or whatever, I'd rather do that. But if they go safety, I would definitely understand.
Right. Nick, I'm sorry, bro. I don't feel that way about Burden. I don't feel that way about him at all. And honestly, I don't think we need
if Matthew Golden drops to 24.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think we need a slot. Like both Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, they can play everywhere, but they would both be elite slot players. So I don't think we need a slot. I don't think we need a guy like Burden, in my opinion. If we were to go get somebody, I'd want someone who's big, who can make contested catches, or someone that's just fast as hell.
Wasn't it you saying that
bigger but fast?
That Burden, if he got drafted in the first round, would have like a Rager. Was that you that said that last week?
Yeah, Rager, or even I keep forgetting his name. The guy that I keep wanting to say Michael Floyd, but
Rondell Moore.
Rondell Moore, yeah. Rondell Moore.
Yeah.
I think he literally looks like Rondell Moore to me, which I like him, but I don't know. That don't feel like a first round. Right, I don't see guys like that succeed in the first round with that size.
I remember there's one time that I was told Percy Harvin 2.0 was going to be Tavon Austin. What happened to him?
Yeah. Percy Harvin's like the only guy I can think of. Hey, George, diaper funds, damn expensive. Dude, appreciate you, bro, for real. Yeah, man, that's no joke. And my kid, he does not slack in that department at all. He definitely likes to run through those things, like Adrian Peterson. Oh, no, I'm telling you, wide receiver. All right, hey, Nick, I could definitely be wrong. We'll see, though. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really either. And he could be. When it comes to wide receiver, I'm taking talent no matter what over a fit at the end of the day. But from a fit standpoint, I don't think we need a guy like him at all. That's just my opinion. I feel like a slot guy like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison both can play the slot at an elite level. So I don't know. I think if I was going to draft a wide receiver in the first round, let's go. I did go look at, is it the Kyle Williams, right? Is that his name? I'd rather draft him later for sure. I think. Cause he's bigger and things like that. But anyways, let's keep on rolling. You don't have him in your top 3 for wide receivers?
He's just so, he's not fat. He's just so big. Like, how do you not, like, how does 6'4"
I think he's going to be a
receiver not excite you a little bit?
I'm cool with that too. I haven't watched a lot of wide receivers though. Keeping on rolling here because I do think we'll make Nick happy this time around, and that is Jahdae Barron, Texas cornerback. I've been watching him, absolute stud. Obviously, I talked about it with Will Johnson. We could have put him on here. I really think there's no way Will Johnson. I was talking about instincts earlier with Malachi Starks. I think that's what sets Will Johnson apart from any other cornerback in this draft, is just his instincts and being in the right place at the right time, cutting routes, making big plays, things like that. Jahdae Barron, he's a bigger size. He's 5'11", little shorter, but he's like, I think he's the only cornerback that I've seen in the top that has surpassed 200 pounds. And just a great size to speed not to mention production, one of the best, arguably the best in coverage from a PFF standpoint, and Jade Barron. And he's another guy that I do see good instincts with. And I would go so far to say at this point that if he's there at 24, we have other guys on this list that I would rather see on 24, but he's becoming the guy at 24 who might be the second on my wish list if he's available. But he's another player that I do not think is going to last to 24 for us. But he is a stud. I think there's a big drop. I think in my opinion, I think it's like Will Johnson, Jade Barron, and then in my opinion, I would say Amos would be third kind of a drop off, Amos, and then I do think there's kind of a drop off after that. But Jade Barron's a stud, and if we left this first round with him, I think that'd be a huge win.
And a starter on a really, really, really good Texas defense as well. Yeah. And again, it is a position of need where you have you have Murphy. You hope that Mekhi Blackman comes back and plays well. You hope that Isaiah Rodgers has some untapped potential there. But as we've seen, and as we mentioned before, you can never have too many solid to good to great cornerbacks. And especially with what we saw last year with the injuries and having to bring in a couple old guys, a spot start, they did good enough. But you would like to get more youth at the position. And adding a guy like Barron would help you accomplish that. Plus, I mean, as I said, absolute stud, played on a really, really good defense. I mean, there's a reason his name's being mentioned in the first round in a lot of these drafts. So coming away with a guy like that, again, I think the whole Zimmer, when Zimmer's time here got me a little bit tired of taking corners in the first round because we did it so damn much. But there's a reason that you do it, and it's because of how important that position actually is.
And we just haven't been successful.
Right. We haven't been successful since what, like Xavier Rhodes? Probably in the first round.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we got a couple good seasons out of him. So yeah, I'm with you. That's a hard part with the cornerback thing, but it's just like the safety thing, where I'm just like, even though I know we could use more. I don't think we need one, but I definitely think we could use one for sure, especially a top one. I'm a little worried, but I did really like what I saw from him. So I feel more than comfortable to make that move. But at the end of the day, I know me and you have been on the same page throughout the process, even through free agency, even making big moves. But the reality is, like, you made some big moves at this position, moves that I didn't even think was possible. I didn't think was going to happen, but you did pick aging players that are technically on contract 2 to 3 years, but reality could be 1 to 2 years. And that's why I think we want to find someone there that they can, especially someone that can give them time to get accumulated in the NFL. Plus you get acclimated in NFL. Plus you got, these older guys that can teach them, and that is defensive interior. And that's why number 2, we got both Nolan we're kind of Nolan or Harmon here. And this is like preferably not at pick 24, preferably. You trade back at the end of the first round, and then you're able to go get and I would have to say at this point, because I spent time looking into both these players, I kind of am lean towards team Harmon over Nolan, I think. And I think Nolan will get picked first. So I kind of would like to move instead of picking Nolan at 24. I think I would definitely prefer to move back and then get Harmon at the end of the first round, or maybe even the early second.
And depending on how they have him ranked, like I could see them taking Nolan at 24, but I wouldn't see them taking Harmon without a trade back, if you ask me personally. But I'm kind of in this, and I say that just off how things are perceived. Yeah. But I do,
which is what everybody can do. Nobody knows for sure,
right? I think with Harmon, the thing that I like so much about him is like
I'm with you, Nick. I like him a lot.
He has the quickness and he has the power, but he's a bigger body that still moves pretty quick, is what I really like when watching Harmon. And that's kind of, you feel like he could play both roles, but make an impact as a pass rusher, which is kind of something, because we don't have a younger guy who's bigger that can make that type of impact. But
he has a motor. Where Nolan's not known for he's not really known to have. I mean, people say he takes plays off and things like that. Like, you don't get that out of Harmon, and like you said, like you kind of get best of both worlds out of him, I think. And he is 316 and ran a sub 5, so you get some athleticism for his size. and that's kind of where the edge was on him. But I did want to say Amos real quick. He's another guy. If we traded back at the end of the first or something like that, he's someone that I would definitely not mind the Vikings taking around that spot.
Yeah, but yeah, if you could find a way to come away with either of these two guys, I'd be pumped. I mean, if you could trade back and get one still, that'd be even better. But time will tell how that on that regard. But I do think you would have you'd have a better chance of trading back and getting a Harmon than you would of trading back and getting Walter Nolan.
Yeah, probably. At least, like you said, that's a hard part. This is coming from all the mock drafts that we did,
and it's kind of
or even seeing other people's mocks
from the media, not necessarily how players are ranked on draft boards.
Which, of course, that honestly is usually it's somewhat close, but not. There's always a few guys that get picked way earlier, and then there's always guys that get dropped and stuff.
Yep.
So I would not be surprised though if Harmon was one of those players that gets picked earlier than you'd expect.
Right.
Some people's boards, they have him going higher and stuff.
Yeah.
But keep going to our number one, someone that's been our number one from day one, pretty much. And that goes to big man Kenneth Grant, 350, 360, whatever. Has explosiveness for his size, could ultimately great in the run game, could ultimately turn great in the pass game. Someone that might need a little, a little work, someone that might need a little time to get comfortable in the NFL and learn some things. But mentioning those guys with Jonathan Allen as well as Javon Hargrave, you'd be able to have that time with Kenneth Grant and the biggest thing, of course, is because you got those guys who are generally more pass rushers. We, other than Taki, we don't really have anybody this size, and definitely not a guy that can also be effective in the pass rush at this size as well. So I would take a chance on Kenneth Grant. I'm becoming more and more skeptical of him being there. It seems like we're not the only one that is thinking that, including Steve and the Packers. I know I've seen a couple things now in the Packer fan base, and it seems like they're pretty high on Kenneth Grant as well.
Yeah, but they've also been pretty high on getting a wide receiver one for the last 20 years.
But they keep passing, but they're dumb and keep passing up on it every time.
Yeah, but it is kind of funny because obviously when you're watching the tape and stuff, like you'll go, you start watching Mason Graham stuff, and when you watch Mason Graham stuff, you can't help but notice big number 78 sitting there next to him. One of those two is always getting double teamed, and the other one is doing pretty well against fighting off the double team. So it'll be interesting to see when they're split up and playing on their separate teams how they do. But I think it's just kind of like you said. I mean, you have a guy who has that size that we need up the middle, but he also has that ability to become an effective pass rusher, as you see when you watch him. And that is kind of one thing I know is watching through all these defensive tackles. Like there were some guys who seemed like they were primarily run stoppers, and I did notice a lot of smaller, quicker guys that aren't going to be great in the run game, but can really get after it in the pass rush game. And you feel like a lot of these guys that we're talking about here are first round pick talents because they either do both well or have the potential to do both well. And like you said, with Grant, you're just getting quickness, power, and speed for a guy who's, as you said, 340 pounds or whatever. So this would be the one right here that if he's there at 24, I'm not even saying don't risk it. Don't trade back. Just do what you did the Jordan Addison year. Say, hey, this is a position that we could use. Let's not get too cute with this. Let's not try to do this or try to do that. Let's just take him. Let's just take him at number 24 and move on and be done with it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we've been saying this all off season. It's just exactly what we need. That's it. It's just the best fit we could want with potential. And now honestly makes even more sense with Hargrave and Allen, in my opinion, as far as not needing him to be impactful immediately and give him some time to grow.
And then if you could get him somehow at 24, I'm very comfortable with one of your 5th round picks taking one of the smaller, slimmer guys that's just a go-getter in the pass rush game. I know there's a couple I was watching last night that was it Peebles? I really like myself.
Yeah, I did like Peebles. Yeah,
Ty Robinson, Peebles, and even the what was the other guy? There's one other guy. Let me see if I can find his name here. JJ Pegues. Is that how you pronounce his name? Yeah, I liked him a lot too.
Yep. I'm still team like we got him. Like I'm still team. If you could get Ty Robinson in like
with
your
sure.
last pick or whatever, definitely pull the trigger on that. And then of course another guy I really like. If we did not go defensive tackle and we win a different position, for sure. I don't know if he even lasts to the third round, but if we ended up going corner or if we traded back and got extra picks, I still really like what's the guy that I like, Casey? I forget all names.
Who do you play for?
I definitely ain't gonna remember that. No, defensive tackle. CJ West.
Oh, CJ West, yeah.
I really like CJ West. He's athletic for his size. Another guy that's like 315, ran a sub 5. Just has really. I think it was Dan, right? This is something that Dan brought up as well. Just has some really good techniques, some swim moves, things like that. Another guy I would really like. I don't think he's going to last to the third round. I think he's going to be a sneaky guy. I also really like Tyleik Williams as well as another big guy that you could bring. Like if you miss on Grant, let's say you missed on Grant and you traded back into the second round, I could see Tyleik Williams being a very solid pick there as well.
Yeah, so remember, he was the guy that was always sitting there in the first round when we did mock drafts. And I know
CJ
we
West
at that stuff and we weren't like huge on him, but when you do watch Williams play, he is pretty good. And another guy too that kind of reminded me of Ty Robinson was Riley Mills from Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a lot of fun to watch. He's just a guy that just a spark plug. As soon as the ball snaps, he's through the line of scrimmage already.
Mm-hmm.
He was another guy like that was fun to watch. So,
but CJ West is like he's my jam. He's my outside of like my draft crush in that area outside of the top players or whatever. Honestly, I think I have him right now at number 6, but he was number 5 for a while. So I think he's going to be a stud. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him at the end of the second round or early third or something. But hey, this is a deep defensive tackle.
And,
so
that is kind of like what makes you wonder. Like, yeah, maybe they do love a Walter. No, maybe they do love Kenneth Grant if he's there at 24. But it's most likely. So this decision might be made for them because most likely he's not. But if he is there at 24, and they think like, hey, we can get a guy. Sure, he's not going to be this impactful, but we could get 2 guys later if we trade back and pick up a couple more picks. Are they going to see that value as being higher? Like instead of having 4 picks, let's say you end up with 6, and you can still get a really good a couple defensive tackles later. Are they going to see that value as higher than just a Kenneth Grant? And that'll be the really interesting thing. There's so many options in this draft.
It depends. If you think he's that guy, you gotta pull the trigger.
Right. But on their board, if they're like, yeah, we like him, but we also think with these other 2 picks, we could get 2 guys that will give us 2 totally different things and can kind of add to that instead of just I don't know. It'll be interesting.
See, I like if we were able to get if we traded back and we were able to get like Harmon. And I still am also on team Deion Walker too. Like I know in the drafts, Deion Walker kind of lasts till that third round. I would easily take a shot at Walker at that point as well.
I remember.
I like Lott, but I wasn't really. What did I end up doing with him?
I remember liking Alfred Collins a lot when I watched him.
I was just all right on him as well.
I liked him.
Remember why? I didn't like any. If you were from any of those orange teams, I was like, get out of here. From defensive interior, outside cornerback, Jahdae Barron, we'll take it. But those other orange defensive interiors, get them out of here. I wasn't big on any of them. I wasn't really that big on Norman Lott. I wasn't big on Broughton. I wasn't big on Alfred Collins. They're all right, but I didn't think I was bigger on some other guys for sure. That's my guess. We
just got done talking about that a little bit ago.
We did.
How it's the biggest like really who cares debate in Vikings land right now. Like it is what it is. It's backup quarterback.
McCarthy's going to be healthy all season.
Yeah,
he's going to be good as fuck.
If he gets hurt or if he gets benched, then we're kind of just effed anyway. So who really cares? I don't know. I could care less who the Vikings QB2 is going to be. I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not that worried. I mean, hey, if that's all we're worried about, that's a pretty good sign. We're just worried about who's our quarterback two going to be. Again, everybody, giving away Viking cards, your choice. Get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. All right, so Rattler related
So
to OG Ronnie Lot.
was
No, he ain't, is he?
what was your trade again?
So this was my trade. Here, let me put us in the mock room. Boom. And boom. All right. So on this Thursday, if anyone wants to tap in on Bleacher Report, we are going live. And I talked about this earlier, but we are going live. There's a creator for every team for a mock draft. So what, like all 32 teams, unless whoever doesn't have first round or whatever. We are doing a first round mock draft, and obviously I'll be running the Vikings, and we already have there's trades, all these things, and I have made the first trade on Bleacher Report, and I'm the only trade so far, and I did trade back with Cleveland Browns to round 2, where I gave up our 24 for their 33, their 67, and their 179. I struggled a lot. Anybody who wanted to trade up was trying to just absolutely rail you in trade and get the best value. And someone came in, the Cleveland Browns came in and gave me a value trade at ours is 740 with the pick 24, and everything that he gave me ends up being like 850 or something like that. So I pulled the trigger right away. I knew our job was to trade back. I think it ends up being a really good trade. You basically get a second round pick to move back like 8 spots or whatever it is. So we'll force that. So we're going to kind of run this through so I can kind of get an idea of what this looks like for us.
Are we going? You want to go turbo just to our picks, or how do you want to do it?
No, you can go fast. You can go fast here.
Okay.
Jade Barron's already gone, which obviously this doesn't matter for us.
Zabel went too, and Emanwari. Whoa, this might be Walter Nolan.
No, you still got. So you got. You do have. Oh, you got the boy Luther Burden the third up
Derek
there.
Harmon, Malik Williams. Yeah.
So you got Harmon here, and I do like Amos as well. So I have grown that draft crush on Amos, but I still am team Harmon at this pick.
I would agree. Again, just a guy.
I like Amos a lot. I'm picking Amos or Harmon straight up, not even questions. I like Tyleek Williams, but I think if Harmon was gone and Amos was gone, I think I might go Tyleek Williams here.
So I mean, but you're getting 6'5", 310, solid pass rusher, solid against the run as well. Kind of what we're looking for, the size and ability
and
to
ran a sub 5, and he plays with him.
You can just think about him mixing in with Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen. Like, just think about those three being like this, like the basis of your defensive line. I love that one. I love that a lot. So we'll go locking that one in.
Yeah, but go to Amos real quick. Amos. I think you would like this guy, and I do like Benjamin Morrison too. He is obviously he's coming off an injury. No, who I'm not impressed with though is that freaking
Ravel.
Yeah, Ravel. Yeah, and Harrison. I'm not trusting Ravel and Ravel's coming off an ACL.
I think people just like the size here, 6'3",
and he's coming off an ACL injury. He's supposed to be very athletic, but obviously we weren't able to see it. Harrison ran a 4.28. He's the guy that's getting kind of boosted because of his 40 time.
What can I say?
10 of your 20 is for your beer habit. The worst thing is I'm going to get at least one beer, one diaper, one beer,
one diaper. Drink one while you're changing. All right. So we going Derek Harmon. Is that the pick?
Yeah. Yep. I feel confident.
Right.
I think we both feel great about that
too. Then we're sitting 67.
Oh yeah.
That right there would be. I mean, that's a fair trade back. I mean, the Browns get up to 24, they get what they want there, and we drop back, and we're still able to get some.
And we got a second round pick, and then we also got an extra 6th round pick. So I'm taking that for sure.
And again,
I'm pumped about it. I'm super pumped about it because I know nobody's gonna get that trade. Out of all of these other content creators on Bleacher Report, I feel confident that I got the biggest fleece.
But also by trading back, 33, yes, technically or 34, that would be right. It's technically a second round pick, but it's a first round pick because there's more first round talent than what actually gets drafted in the first round.
Yeah,
You're
which is
getting a
what we
top
kind of
tier.
like.
Yeah, like so you're still getting a really good player, and you still get to pick at the top of the third round as well. So it's
Yeah.
it really is.
Obviously, you don't have the fifth year option or whatever,
right.
but
Which I mean, but again, that's a little bit less beneficial than it used to be as well here. So I guess here now
I
looking
think
corner,
I'm
looking Tate
pulling the trigger on
Ratledge.
Benjamin Morrison.
Are
Not
you
even a question. Yep,
over
he's
another
good.
guard?
Benjamin Morrison's good coming off of his injury. I know, but he looks like a stud. He has instincts. He makes plays. Go down real quick. Scroll. Oh yeah, coverage grade at 68.4 last year, and he kind of had a slumpy year up until his injury. And obviously we like Makuba, but we can get those guys later. RJ Harvey, he'll be gone before that next book.
You could go guard if you wanted.
I feel pretty good about Morrison, honestly.
Still.
CJ West, we already got our guy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like it. I mean, as we said, you need corners. I mean, 6 foot 190, good size.
Yeah, me too. I'm met on him for sure. Yep, Morrison wouldn't even think twice. That's where I'm at. I bet you he doesn't last this long. See, I'm not a Rebel guy, but I don't know. Obviously, I didn't go dig deep into these guys either. I didn't go back and watch all their tape or nothing. So I ain't even gonna act like I did all that. But based off first impressions, was like, I wouldn't make him a first rounder.
Yeah. Then I assume we're thinking. I mean, I assume what we're probably going to do is wait till our next pick and hope we can get a Brashard Smith, right? I mean, I like Devin Neal, Jadon Blue. You're not gonna bring in Jadon Blue to be like a running back. He's gonna be a gadget guy.
I'd rather have Smith than him.
Well, yeah, me too. I'm just saying, like, you're not going to take any of these guys above them right
Devin Neal, out of all these guys, I think Devin Neal is the best. But he's more of a guy like Mason.
Like Mason, yeah.
Yeah. So, and same with Damian Martinez as well.
Right.
So we didn't get any of our guys dropping. So something happened with Makuba since last week, huh?
Yeah, right.
Where did he go? He went one above us. Wow.
Oh, damn. Yeah, he did.
Okay, so we got Kyle Williams here, who he's gaining some respect compared to recently. I did like what I saw from him. I wouldn't mind that. What do we got? We got 139.
I mean, again, I don't hate going back up tight end.
We could. I don't know anything about him. That's the only thing.
1,500 yards. I mean, I'm sure smaller school. 1,500 yards, 10 TDs.
Small school. That's definitely
6'4".
I mean, he definitely has all that stuff that you'd want.
Do you snag another corner?
Dang it! Why couldn't Makuba been up? What do we got for trade backs?
Lions at 102, 108, and 119.
What would they be willing to give us for that?
I'm guessing probably not. Well, for sure that.
Let's go 130. Click it.
All right. Well, there we go.
All right. That's what's happening.
And pretty much Strong's gone, but everybody else is still.
Should we just go with Riley's boy?
Kyle Williams.
Yep.
6 foot, 186, 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns.
I don't know. He looked pretty solid.
Sure.
I thought. We're going wide receiver early just for Riley.
And now we'll pick 130.
You already
Will Howard.
know.
For some reason, did you like Will Howard is kind of like there was like a tease last week that Vikings might be interested and get him late enough. I don't know if we can let it go any farther. I just say we pull the trigger right here on Brashard Smith.
Get my boy. Yep. Get my boy.
Riley. All right. I mean, do we look at going back to interior again? Ty Robinson's there.
We probably can get him after this.
Yep.
So I mean I'm on that Ty Robinson train for sure at this point. Mm-hmm. If we like for this, go back to the full thing. I mean, there's this Mickings guy. I don't know much about him, but he's
6 foot 210.
I mean,
Good in
people are
coverage.
drafting him later than that. Is S. Sanker still there? Look up Sanker.
How do you? He might be
No.
gone. Shiloh Sanders.
What else?
Trevor Etienne.
Either
Go another running back.
Patty the Batty. He had a good weekend. I say let's just go for that. Oh, go down real quick. Who's that other safety down there? Billy Bowman Jr. Let's go him. I don't know why. I don't know a lot about him, but he's average draft position is 135.
All right.
Oh, I didn't even see Quincy Riley. Love dude. Dang it. Who was it? I didn't even see that. Is he still there? Put in Quincy Riley. Move up real quick. See if he got picked before this. Yeah, he must have. I want to even see. I don't even know who that is.
Me neither. A couple Gophers going. Hell yeah. This guy?
Oh, right there. Cornerback. Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, 6 foot, 195. That's solid.
I mean, do we just?
Man gonna suck overrated.
Do we just not waste our time?
Yeah, go with Ty Robinson here.
Yeah.
This is the no-brainer to me.
6'6",
310 and ran a 4.85. Yeah. So,
So much fun.
Taking my chances.
So much fun to watch.
No what? Go with Mickens here. Fuck it. Let's go double down on safety. Unless there's someone else you want.
Pick 199.
I know
we don't be trading back here. We'll just rock with it. We'll rock with it.
Oh, sorry, Norris. We're going too fast here for you guys. Dude, our Vikings are gonna be crazy. That's what I'm saying. We need to make this pick happen. This trade back happen. Trade with Cleveland. Get basically a second round pick and another 6th round pick.
All right. So with your trade, I mean, hey, if the Vikings pulled off that trade, and this is how it turned out, hell yeah.
Yeah. I'd be more. Look, we got like 3 A+ on this.
Right. Yep.
Even though obviously it doesn't mean it's good, but
right. But
hey, we take that. We're taking that.
I would be ecstatic if that's how this went down this year. I mean, covering a lot of positions. I mean, again, positions of need probably isn't the right way to put it. But yeah, it's a lot of positions you can get better at.
Right.
And you're getting better with all these guys. So
let's go FT. FT, Matty knows. He knows. I wish we could have got Makuba or something and Kyle Williams there. I don't know. Maybe not, though. At that point, it's not that big of a deal. But, no, I think this is solid.
Yeah, I would take it.
All right. Let me fix some stuff here.
All right, everybody. About to do the giveaway. Again, your choice of which card. Get the hashtag Skols in the comments. Like the video and subscribe. All that good stuff if you have not already. But yeah, get them hashtag Skols in here. Gotta win. We pick 5 names. Those 5 names make it to the duck race. Whoever wins duck race wins the card. All that good stuff. Forgot you're a Notre Dame guy. We got the best of all time, Harrison Smith.
Kyle Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph, the greatest tight end of all time for Notre Dame.
We didn't get Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, we did get Kyle Hamilton. We dropped the ball on that one.
Can you imagine Kyle Hamilton, Harrison Smith playing next to each other for the last 3 years?
Gosh, that would have been at this point, like, man. Just, man. And the worst part about that is how obvious that choice probably should have been.
Yeah.
Oops.
But you live and learn, right?
Yep. Quasi's done some good things since then.
All right, everybody, we're gonna get rolling here. We got 14 entries. Some good odds tonight. We got some good odds tonight. Let's get it. Top 5 make it to the duck race. Starting with, gotta be here, Dan Henneman, who won the last one, I believe. Dan, are you here?
Nick won the last one, didn't he?
No, Nick won the one before.
I
Because Dan
I think Nick was the last one.
Wasn't Dan the one on his birthday?
I don't remember. All these weeks blend together.
Hey, he's here. Dan, do you remember if you won last week or the week before? Me and Casey are gonna put $20 on it.
I could have
But
swore.
either way,
I could have
say
swore it was Nick.
yes.
Could have swore it was Nick. Because remember we were talking about how he hasn't won yet, and you put him in randomly, and he ended up winning.
I do remember that, but I felt like that was the week before that. I felt like Dan's was the birthday, and then I called his yeah,
It was last week. Okay.
yeah, because it was birthday or whatever, or no, was it your birthday? Or anyways, I called his name. I was like, I feel like Dan's gonna win, and then he won, and then he also won the duck race or whatever. Which, again, this is not rigged. This is not rigged at all. All right. Anyways, keep on rolling here. Boom. Two-toned. Two-toned, are you still here? We'll keep on rolling. Two-tone, let us know. As Sarah says, it's rigged. Bob Swede. I know Bob's here. Keep on rolling. Bob, two-tone, let us know. Let us know. Let us know. We've got
Bob is here. We're good there.
Nick. Speaking of, I mean, Nick was just here.
He's got to still be here.
Oh, yeah, he's here. He's got to be. And there he is. All right, keep on rolling. I haven't seen two-tone yet, but we still have time. Steve! I might have another Packer card somewhere. If I do, I'm just going to look for it afterwards, and I'll just send you any Packer card I find. All right, last one. I do not see two-toned, I believe. So we got to run this one. Boom. Let's see what we got. I mean, I didn't even ask if Steve is here still. Steve, are you still here? Eric, I saw you. I don't even have Eric. Have you won? You've had to have won before. I don't know if you have won.
I don't know. I'm not sure if he has.
Steve, are you here? When was the last time we saw Steve?
Wasn't here too long ago.
Not after that Notre Dame comment.
He's here. We're good.
He is here.
We're good.
Know what? I'm gonna give Steve's to Jen. I'm gonna give it to Jen. Steve, are you all right with that? I feel like Jen needs a Viking card. I feel like you got it. That'd be a real dick thing if you weren't, you know? Yes. All right, perfect. All right, Jen, you are in. All right, we got the names here. Bob, Nick, Dan, Jen, and Eric L. Only Eric here. Didn't know how to put the first letter of the last name, but hey, we're doing it. All right, 45 seconds. Shuffle this 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Trump duck. Nick's Trump duck. All right, we got. We're rocking it. We're rocking it.
This
Lady
all, we got
Liberty,
purple duck either.
Donald
Purple's
Duck.
always the lucky duck. All right, 3, 2, 1. Boom, we're off.
Sorry, Dan, you had to be the gross green duck. We apologize.
I don't know. The Steve duck. Steve is a class act. Jeez, Steve is a class act.
Uh-oh. Don's gonna get too cocky.
We got Nick. Yeah, Donald
Don's
Trump.
gonna get too cocky.
He's like, I already won.
It's over.
It's over.
Give me the card.
Told you it's over. He's coming
He's
back.
gonna bounce off the
He's
back.
gone. He's gone. Oh,
It's just
Bob,
gone.
purple.
Oh,
Trump's
no,
coming
he's
back.
coming back. Oh,
Trump's
no,
coming back.
it's-
Purple
it's
duck.
gone.
Dude, this
It's
is a
gone.
Vikings podcast. Purple duck.
This was a rigged duck race. I didn't lose.
Purple duck all day. Bob Swede. Always on his game on the duck race. Bob, what are we feeling, my guy? Are we feeling Dallas Turner? I forgot. You probably have all kinds of cards now. Bob, let us know what you are thinking. We got colored Dallas Turner, a bunch of colored Dallas Turner, obviously J.J. McCarthy. We got Will the Thrill Reichard. Yep, Will the Thrill.
I feel like no one's gonna want
Justin
Riker until
Jefferson.
next year. Then he's gonna kick like
I
a
know.
game winner early on, and that one's gonna go fast
It's funny, like if this was like halfway through the season, Will Reichard would have been the most popular card probably.
for sure. Dallas Turner.
Dallas Turner. All right, I got you a good Dallas Turner one. I'll get you a colored Dallas Turner.
I really hope Dallas
Oh.
Turner is just a stud this year. I feel like he's gonna be. I really do feel like he's gonna have a huge year this year.
I think so too. I think he is.
I'm excited. I gotta get his jersey. That's what I gotta do.
I know we're gonna have to buy a lot of.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we can't even buy these jerseys from China anymore. There's too much.
Oh,
too
right, they're gonna
opportunity.
cost too much money.
Dang, I didn't even think about that. It's gonna be cheaper to just buy a real jersey now. That's crazy. Any rookie Hitman cards? I do not. I can go get some. I tried going to get some. They're actually kind of hard to get. I think people want to try to get some rookie Hitman. There's just not even a lot of them either. Because he came in when cards weren't as blown up. Yeah. Anyways, I guess before we hop off here real quick, I guess just Timberwolves real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say because next Monday I'm sure we'll do like a kind of like a
For
final.
Timberwolves.
I'm sure we'll do like a final mock draft next Monday. We'll talk about the 1-0 series lead for the Wolves.
Appreciate it.
It'll be a fun Monday. It'll be a fun Monday. Lots of stuff to talk about.
Lots of stuff to talk about. Freaking Ant going crazy. This Anthony Edwards just like goes to another level every playoffs. This is gonna be even. He's about to surpass Luka for sure this year. I have a rookie hitman out. That's sick.
Or Luka for sending. Yeah.
Or
I don't know. I
Luka.
think it's gonna be.
No, I don't
it's
think so.
gonna be-
I don't
it's
see
gonna
that
be- I think
scenario.
it's gonna be a fun series. I really do. I think it's gonna be.
I'm a little nervous.
It's gonna be good.
LeBron and Luka.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, LeBron gets LeBron treatment, and Luka just finds ways.
Only because of what happened last year with Luka.
Yeah, Luka's
Luka, he'll
one of
just
those
hit
guys.
freaking-
Like, I feel like you respect his game. If he's on your team, you love him. But if you're playing against him, you just cannot stand the guy. And he just wanted because he doesn't look like he should be good at basketball, but he just is.
He's like, yeah, he feels like one of like it was like, dang, maybe I could have made it or something. The way
him and Jokic are kind of the same. Like there's like nonchalant on the court. but
Those
they're both
Europeans,
just so
man,
good. Yeah, right. Those Europeans.
they just drink beer all day and are good at basketball.
Yeah.
At least Luka. Like, I know Luka drinks beer every day. He
for
definitely
sure,
is
for
just
sure.
drinking
That's why
beers
Dallas
every
got
day.
that's why Dallas got rid of him, right? Because they thought his
probably.
drinking was
It's like I don't care. I don't care if you helped carry us to a finals. We're just gonna trade you because you drink
Stop
too much
drinking
beer.
Whatever.
That was great. That's why I'm not some straight BS. I don't believe it at all.
Yeah.
But
Rigged.
anyways, draft next week. Super pumped. Timberwolves playoffs against the Lakers. LeBron James, Luka Doncic. This is pretty much what needs to happen. Is Anthony Edwards he literally has to take like that step to being arguably
the guy,
the guy in the
Right.
NBA, not
So
just
we were having the conversation at work today. Like, is there any player that you would trade Ant for? Like, and the guy that asked the question said anybody but Luka. Like, I still don't even know if I do that. Like, I said no. Like, there's not one person in the league that I would straight up be like 1-to-1 want to trade Ant for right now.
No, I wouldn't.
Because you feel like he's about, like, he's already here, but you feel like he's about to just hit that next level. Because you got, like, the crazy thing is he's 23 and he's doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah, and what people don't respect about him is somehow, I don't know how, this is only because he's a Timberwolf. If he was a Laker or he was a big market team, this would be completely different. Is you're talking about a guy that came into the NBA that people didn't know about his work ethic, comes in there, questioned his work ethic, didn't like basketball enough, liked football more, whatever. Was known for being really good at getting to the basket, especially at his position. One of the best in the NBA as soon as he was a rookie at getting to the basket. And now, and he shot 29% at Georgia from the 3-pointer. And now he just led the NBA in three-pointers with at about a 40% clip, which is completely insane and is not being talked about nearly enough. That Anthony Edwards just led the league in 3-pointers at 40% clip. And he was never supposed to be that guy ever. He was supposed to be a guy who tries to get to the rim. And he's 23 years old. He's 23 years old.
And he's like Superman. Like, I mean, because the other pick that year would have been LaMelo Ball, right? And he gets hurt all the time. Where Ant, like, he sprains an ankle, and you're like, oh god, he's going to be out for weeks. He comes back after halftime. Like, the dude is just like a superhuman healer.
Yeah, he doesn't get hurt.
No, yep. And when he does, it's just like quick locker room stint. And he's back on the floor doing the same thing. It's just crazy.
Right. I mean, you should probably put a condom on once in a while or something like that, probably. I mean, there's definitely some things there, but yeah, on the court, man, I mean, this guy's insane.
All he wants to do is ball.
Yeah,
no
ball
kids.
all day. On and off the court. Yep, no kids, nothing. I don't know. Whatever. That off the court thing, I don't agree with that.
Back on the court right after that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. But on the court, I think
it'll be interesting this year. The best basketball player you can be.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Of course, I'm kidding. But
no, yeah, if you win a championship, like, whatever, it's not my life, you know. I mean, there's football players have done way worse shit. So kidding. No, be good. Anthony Edwards here on out, be good. But first off, come win us a championship. I think we win in 6 games. I don't know. I think we're gonna have a tough time winning unless you do see Ant, like, literally, like, there's a stretch last playoffs where people were calling Ant like the best player in the league and shit like that, which I don't know, that was a little early for all of that talk, or they were saying like the next Michael Jordan, like all that kind of stuff. But that's the impact he makes. It's not crazy to say he takes a leap from even that in this year's playoffs, and if he does, I think it would be hard for anybody to beat him. So we'll see. And I'm not biased at all. Not even a little teeny bit biased ever. But the Timberwolves are winning the finals this year, and they're going to be champions. And so are the Vikings are going to win the Super Bowl. And I'm not biased.
Nobody else is going to do anything. But as long as that happens, I'll be happy.
And that's not playoff, Ant, though. You got to go check out playoff.
And the Wolves were awful against Phoenix last year in the regular season. So what? Then they sweep,
and then they beat them in 4.
Like, it is what it is. Yeah. It is what it is.
It's different, and it's playoff, and it's different. It's just
we don't have no more Karl Anthony Towns.
Fact,
no more playoff slouches from Karl Anthony Towns this year. Just
Rudy's gonna play out of his mind. Julius is gonna play out of his mind. Ant is gonna prove himself to be way better than Luka. Way better than Luka, probably. Sharks better get first pick in the lottery is bullshit. I know. Kaprizov is back with the Wild. I don't even know if they have a chance to make playoffs now.
Didn't San Jose have the first overall pick last year? I thought they did.
Just get every year. Playoff. Anyway. Yeah, but he's like 60 years old or whatever.
Playoff LeBron is different because there's 4 other guys on the court too that are
Yeah.
going to be on his side. It's just the way that the NBA works. It's LeBron.
I mean, LeBron has been he's been pretty
9 versus
mid.
5.
He's
9
been
v
mid in
5.
playoffs of recent. In the last few years, he's just kind of been like they've been getting kind of bounced, you know.
He hasn't been to enough Diddy parties recently, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. That's the thing. Without that Diddy motivation, I don't think his playoff game is going to be way off. I think he kind of needed Diddy. I think.
Oh goodness.
Yes, good. Yeah, Diddy was
Either
Diddy
Diddy or the refs. He's probably leaning more towards the fact that the refs are going to be on the side.
Oh,
yeah. Oh
yeah.
no, San Jose had the first pick last year. That's what. Yeah, okay. That's what that was. That's what that was. But all right. Well, anything else?
LeBron used to go to Diddy parties.
Yes, he did. Okay. Anyway, thank you.
All right. Anyways, that's all right. Whatever.
This show's gone off. We've gone off the rails here. We've gone off the rails. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We will be back next Monday, last live stream before the big thing, before the draft. Probably do one or two more mock drafts, kind of see where we're sitting. But make sure to join us for that. And thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your week.
Bye-bye.